Yo, what's up guys, Teacher Paul here, and the Netherlands have never won a World Cup. That's crazy, isn't it? I'm from Brazil, and I'm gonna tell you one thing. Whenever the Netherlands goes up against Brazil, which are called the Orange Machines, Laranja Mecânica, it is absolutely terrifying for us. So we're gonna check out this video from the channel Maior Football, and it talks about the greatest country to never win the World Cup. So close, but so far. Just that close so many times. We're gonna check out the video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to request a video, here's the link, or in the description or pinned comment. Let's go. But before we start, let me know your theories. Why has the Netherlands never won the World Cup? Let me know in the comments right now. Let's go.
Throughout the history of the World Cup, football's most anticipated tournament and the most watched sporting event in the world, there has never been a nation that's been so historically good at the game and so close to securing victory and lifting the trophy, but at the same time failed so many times to have ever won it like the Netherlands.
Wow.
Seriously, there has never been a World Cup squad to make it to 3 World Cup finals and never win, except for the Oranje. People forget just how historically great the Dutch are at football. Sure, maybe the Eredivisie isn't as respected as it once was, but did you know that the Netherlands
Wait. You're telling me Dutch football is not the same today? Wait, Brazil also. Brazilian football is not what it used to be back then. But is the Netherlands getting better? And it's crazy because the last World Cup, Brazil was FIFA's #1 rank. They were actually ranked #1 best team in the world, and they failed horribly in the last World Cup. So yeah, oh, that sucks. I feel your pain. Well, I don't feel your pain because we have 5 World Cups, but you know what I'm saying. I feel your pain of having such a great football team and then not feeling that it's up to par nowadays. But how is it today? Do you still have hope for the current situation? Because as a Brazilian, even though we have won 5 times, no flexing, it feels like we're never gonna get that 6th one. But then again, why do we need the 6th one? You know what I'm saying? Let other countries win for once. Let's go.
Isn't as respected as it once was, but did you know that the Netherlands are tied for the all-time record in producing the most Ballon d'Or winners of all time? So just how is it possible that a nation this talented has never managed to win? And will they have a chance in the 2022 World Cup?
Oh, this is an old video. This is at least
Although
3
the
years
Dutch
old.
have never quite managed to win, with Prime Gaming, you can take your FIFA 23 Ultimate Team to glory and win everything. If you've never heard of Prime Gaming, it's free with your Amazon Prime member month X to redeem your code. Starting off, you get a 50 play plus thing. Your sign game out in the
Bro, I'm not getting sponsored by Prime Gaming, so I'm just skipping the ad.
world. And a huge reason for that was no other than one of the greatest footballers of all time, as well as the man who basically founded the way the modern games played, the late, great Johan Cruyff.
Johan Cruyff. Is Beckenbauer... He's German, right? Sorry about that. But I've heard of Johan Cruyff. Of course I have.
Basically founded the way the modern games played, the late, great Johan Cruyff.
Cruyff
embodied the concept of total football. Total football is basically a system where players can take over the role of another within the pitch, allowing for a more dynamic style of play in an era where players strictly stuck to their positions, played their roles, and played in a very static way.
Guys, if you have ever watched Ted Lasso, I think they talk about the total football. I think there is a mention of the Netherlands and total football. And have you ever seen Ted Lasso? It talks about that. That's interesting.
Fluid way of playing was back then seen as revolutionary. How players move and switch around, allowing for more freedom in individual players to really shine and make a greater impact on the pitch. And despite the many greats of his era, it was almost consensus that there was no other player in the world as good as Johan Cruyff. The 3-time Ballon d'Or winner was immensely gifted. He played primarily as a playmaker, but at the same
What a talented football player. Look at those sprints, man, and that cross.
winner was immensely
amazing.
gifted. He played primarily as a playmaker, but at the same time had the ability to score all by himself with unrivaled skill. His touch was divine, his ball control as good as any to ever play, his dribbling graceful and composed, and of course his vision matched only by the greatest passers the game has ever seen. And although he didn't look like it, he was one of the fastest players in his era. Even now, it's hard to find a player who really shows similar traits to the all-time great. I would say he was a mix of a prime Kaká with Iniesta and diversity of a Luka Modric all in one. In 1974, Cruyff would put the Netherlands squad.
What about Mbappe? Is he kind of in the same skill set? Because Mbappe is fast as well, and he's got the skills. And what he did in the 2022 World Cup was insane. Mbappe, he showed that he is game in the finals. Bro, Mbappe was crazy. But anyways, we're talking about the Netherlands.
And diversity of a Luka Modric all in one. In 1974, Cruyff would put the Netherlands squad on his back and lead them to the World Cup. Along with notable players like Johan Neeskens, one of the top midfielders of his era who back in 2004 was even named in the 125 greatest living footballers of all time by FIFA. Ranked the former 64th in 442's greatest 100 all-time players, and was Barcelona's assistant coach during the Rijkaard era. Rob Rezenbrink, a winger/forward who was the all-time scorer for the UEFA Cup, Winners' Cup, the very first winner of the Onze d'Or, and a player who only missed 2 penalties in his entire career, who scored 143 goals in 262 appearances, 0.54 goals per game record in his prime. Willem van Hanegem, a midfielder who once beat out Cruyff for the Dutch Footballer of the Year award and one of the best pure passing accuracy and ball-retaining midfielders of his era. And Ruud Krol, a defender who placed 3rd in the 1979 Ballon d'Or, and a former Serie A Player of the Year who was well known for his ability to win the ball back, as well as being one of the best passing defenders in the world. The Netherlands.
Guys, let me ask you one thing. I know I'm interrupting the video, but hey, it's a commentary reaction channel, so it's part of it. But let me ask you one thing. How famous are these players in the Netherlands? Because I know that there are famous players and there are famous players in your country, right? So I'll give you an example. Everybody knows Pelé. You know, Pelé is the most famous Brazilian player. And then, of course, you know, Ronaldo, you know, Phenomenon, Ronaldinho, Gaúcho. But then we have the ones that you probably don't know, like Garrincha, you know. So Garrincha is a player that most Brazilians would consider to be even better than Pelé, if you think about it. Like, some people think Garrincha was like the GOAT. So how do these names, because I only know Cruyff, but how do these names add up? Like, are they internationally famous, but I don't know them because, you know, I'm not too versed into the international football scene? Or is it just like, oh, they're famous, but not internationally, they're underrated internationally, but they should be recognized more? You know, that's what I'm saying.
Had a pretty stacked team and were already one of the favorites to win. They would destroy Argentina 4-0 with Cruyff scoring a brace, embarrass Brazil 2-0 with Cruyff scoring the final goal.
Oh man, it's a history of the Netherlands embarrassing Brazil. It's a history. The Netherlands, man, you guys kicked us out in the 2014, was it 2014 or 2006 World Cup? Not sure, or both, I'm not sure.
4-0 with Cruyff scoring a brace, embarrass Brazil 2-0 with Cruyff scoring the final goal, and comfortably win against East Germany 2-0 to make it all the way to the final.
Germany.
And when they got to the final against West Germany, right at the beginning of the match, Cruyff would make an amazing run all within the first minutes of the match, and eventually reached inside the box with ease, before he would get a hard tackle that led to a penalty, which their penalty expert Neeskens easily scored to put Netherlands up 1-0 in just 2 minutes of play. However, it would kind of knock
what
the wind
a
out of
shot
Cruyff and somewhat slow him down throughout the game. However, that West Germany team.
Let me just ask you one thing also. I'm sorry for interrupting once again, but isn't it unfair to have 2 German teams in one World Cup? Like, I feel like it's unfair. You have 2 German teams.
Somewhat slow him down throughout the game. However, that West Germany team was just as scary as the Netherlands. They would mark Johan Cruyff heavily throughout the match to prevent him from opening up chances for a squad. And West Germany had legends of their own like Paul Breitner, Franz Beckenbauer, and Gerd Müller. Beckenbauer in particular was able to control the game and help West Germany dominate the match. Paul Breitner, the former Ballon d'Or runner-up and German Footballer of the Year, would score a penalty on the 21st minute, while Gerd Müller, one of the most dominant goal scorers ever, secured a win with a 43rd minute goal, eventually making a 2-1 comeback to win the match and take the title.
Oh, come on.
The already all-time great Johan Cruyff to GOAT status fell just a bit short, as he was named the player of the tournament and won his 3rd Ballon d'Or that year. But what he really wanted the most for himself and his nation was just within grasp, but never happened. However,
that's the history of Ronaldo, you know, in Portugal in general, I think. I think the Netherlands and Portugal, they have something in common. Like, they're just so close. But I don't think they've ever won the World Cup. I don't think Portugal has. But I know Ronaldo's biggest dream was taken away from him by Messi, bro. And also, I think it feels like Beckenbauer was Cruyff's Messi. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's the comparison here. Beckenbauer was Cruyff's Messi. Sorry. Cruyff's, that's it. I'm right. Beckenbauer was Cruyff's Messi and Cruyff was Ronaldo. Yeah, that's it.
The very next World Cup in 1978, the Netherlands would once again make a huge push in the tournament and try to win the trophy they were so close to getting just 4 years ago. Although Cruyff had already retired from international duty after helping his country qualify for one more World Cup, the squad remained relatively the same from 4 years ago, with names like Neeskens, Rezenbrink, Rep, Hahn, and Krol, and the Van de Kerkhoff brothers making the core of the squad. The Netherlands would destroy countries like Austria 5-1, as well as defeat one of the favorites, Italy, 2-1. Then they would tie defending world champs West Germany 2-2. But back then, the World Cup system was more based on points rather than a knockout bracket. Eventually, they would move up to face the host Argentina in the final.
What? Did the defender just dive? The defender just dived as a goalkeeper.
But back then, the World Cup system was more based on points rather than a knockout bracket. Eventually, they would move up to face the host Argentina in the final. However, without Johan Cruyff, the Netherlands, as good as their defense and midfield was, just couldn't match Argentina's firepower. Mario Kempes, one of Argentina's most historic players and best goal scorers of all time, would open up the match 1-0 just before halftime.
Argentina
as the Dutch struggled to equalize and control the match. However, in the 82nd minute, the Netherlands would finally get a goal, and the match would be forced into extra time. Then, in the span of 10 minutes, Argentina would score 2 more, led by Mario Kempes, winning the match 3-1, absolutely crushing the hearts of all Holland supporters, as they lost their 2nd consecutive World Cup final. Mario Kempes.
That is crazy, so close. But if you guys want to hate Argentina, I will support you, because Argentina is our biggest rival. Brazil and Argentina is the same as the Netherlands versus Germany. We are the biggest rivals, bro.
As would go on to win the World Cup Golden Boot and Golden Ball, along with the Onze d'Or and South American Footballer of the Year award, being remembered by the older generation as one of Argentina's all-time heroes, while the Netherlands would take many, many years to make a squad as strong as the ones in 1974.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I know who Maradona is, I know who Messi is, but I've never heard of Kempes until this video, and that's what I'm talking about. Maradona, worldwide famous. Messi, worldwide famous. Kempes, Argentina, country famous, I would say. But of course, all of the avid football fans would know who he is, as they would know who Garrincha is.
Argentina's all-time heroes, while the Netherlands would take many, many years to make a squad as strong as the ones in 1974 and 1978 and make a push to the World Cup final once more. It wouldn't be until the late 80s that the Netherlands would produce a squad talented enough to stand on top of the world. This was the era of the greatest Dutch trio and even one of the greatest footballing trios of all time. Marco van Basten, Ruud Gullit, and Frank Rijkaard. At one point, all three finished on top of Ballon d'Or voting, with Rijkaard being an incredibly diverse and talented defensive mid, Ruud Gullit being an incredible playmaker, and Marco van Basten being the cherry on top as a lethal striker. These three, along with notable names like Ronald Koeman, Wim Kieft, and Gerald Vavenberg, would be crowned as champions in the 1988 Euros. The squad...
I remember this hair. This hair is iconic. Bro, I remember that.
Was young and full of talent, led mostly by their iconic Dutch trio, who the people believed could finally win their country the coveted World Cup. But although they were dominant in the Euros, much to everyone's surprise, in the World Cup, they never went far. In the 1990 World Cup, in their group, they only finished third, falling behind England and the Republic of Ireland, eventually being knocked out by West Germany in the round of 16. A major disappointment for such a talented squad. However,
but then again, when you have too many stars in one team, like the 2006 Brazil team, we had all the stars in 2006. We had all the stars in 98 also. Man, I mean, you had Ronaldo, Romario in 98. You had all of them. Cafu, Rivaldo, bro. You had all of them. They were the scariest team out there, but they lost. We did win in 94. We lost in 98. We won in 2002, and we lost in 2006. So I think there is kind of like a crazy thing that goes on when you have the best players in the world. They just don't have that what you call it, it's not charisma. What is the word that I'm looking for, that they join? It's not charisma. What is the word? I forgot the word. Chemistry, maybe chemistry. Symphony. It's not symphony. There's a word for it where you have that bond. But in any case, what I want to say is that when you have too many stars, they kind of like shine by themselves, but they don't bond as much. I don't know, it feels that way. Can't remember the name that I'm looking for, but there is a name for it. If you know, let me know in the comments. Wait, did we just go back?
Iconic Dutch trio, who the people believed could finally win their country the coveted
We saw this already, yeah?
West Germany in the round of 16. A major disappointment for such a talented squad. However, in 1998, although not nearly as good as the Dutch trio-led squad a decade prior, Netherlands squad had great form and chemistry, led by players like Dennis Bergkamp, Edgar Davids, Marco Overmars, Frank and Ronald de Boer, and Patrick Kluivert. The Netherlands would finish at the top of their table without a loss and go on to beat Yugoslavia in the round of 16 and Argentina in the quarterfinals.
Yugoslavia used to be such a strong team. Yugoslavia, remember them? Wow.
However, they would come across the heavy favorites to win, a Ronaldo-led Brazil.
Look at that picture, guys. Wow. Look at that picture. We have Tafarel. We have Rivaldo. We have, what's his name again? Oh man, I can't remember. We have Cafu at the far right. We have Ronaldo. We have Roberto Carlos. We have Bebeto. We have, what's this guy's name again? Forgot. And then we have the captain Dunga. Oh, this is a team that will shake everybody's boots. And I remember Bebeto had a bicycle kick. This was 94, wasn't it? Oh man, I'm so excited to see this.
It was an underrated matchup of the tournament, as Ronaldo scored right before halftime, and Kluivert equalized for the Netherlands right before the 90th-minute whistle. But they would narrowly lose 4-2 on penalties, making it the closest they got to reaching the final
this is 98.
in 20 years. But it wouldn't be until over another decade until they would produce a squad with enough quality to finally get a chance to get back to the final. This brings us to the 2010 World Cup. Of all the previous great Dutch squads, although not as top-heavy, this was arguably the most solid squad the Netherlands have ever put together. Their attack was
Wait, this is when they eliminated Brazil, right? I think they eliminated Brazil, and then we went to the it was the third place, and then we lost again.
Their attack was led by Robin van Persie, Wesley Sneijder, and Arjen Robben. Their defense was led by
I thought he was going to say Wesley Snipes.
Giovanni van Bronckhorst, with very informed players like John Hatienga and Gregory van der Wiel. Nigel de Jong, Raphael van der Vaart, and Mark van Bommel were also relentless midfielders as well. And lastly, their goalkeeper, Martin Stecklenburg, was probably the best performing keeper in the tournament after Iker Casillas. They would dominate the group without a single draw or loss, going on to beat Slovakia in the round of 16, absolutely crushed the hearts of Brazil with an upset 2-1 win in the quarterfinals. A match that I watched and I couldn't believe as I watched Kaká try so hard to score a win, but was ultimately stopped by Stecklenburg's unbelievable saves. But throughout the knockout...
A friend of mine knows Kaká, and they say he's told me Kaká is like a very genuine person, and Kaká is I don't know if he's not underrated, but he's one of the best players of all time, because he's a playmaker. He won the Ballon d'Or. He's such a well-rounded player, man. Poor guy. Look at him suffer. Oh, Kaká.
Saves. But throughout the knockout stages, it was no doubt Wesley Sneijder who was leading the team to victory.
Sneijder.
In the semifinal, they would battle it out against a Uruguay missing Luis Suarez, ultimately winning 3-2. Then in the final, they would face the mighty Spain in one of the most hard-fought World.
Wow, look at this Spanish team though, bro. Oh man, how can you get past that defense? How can you get past that defense? And look at Casillas over there, bro. Dang. Oh man, I don't blame it. I don't blame the Dutch.
World Cup finals ever. A match where there was a record of 14 yellow cards issued by the refs. In fact, there should have been more red cards, but considering how big the match was, they let some pretty questionable fouls remain as yellows. And Arjen Robben was as close as any other Dutch player before him to winning the World Cup. But Iker Casillas had a miracle save just by the very end of his boots, which kept Spain alive long enough to score the game-winning goal in additional time, making it the third World Cup final so far for the Dutch. Now, in the 2022 World Cup, after missing the previous World Cup in Russia, the Netherlands have assembled a squad that is very defensive and midfield heavy, but overall pretty balanced if you ask me. They'll have players like Virgil van Dijk, Matthias de Ligt, Nathan Ake, Frankie de Jong, Xavi Simons, Denzel Dumfries, and Memphis Depay. Now, I'm not exactly saying I support this Dutch squad, but I think they're pretty decent. And who knows, they might have a 30% chance based on sports gambling odds, but I think that they might be a team that can surprise everyone.
And surprise everyone they did. Let me just check where they stood. 2022 World Cup fixtures. Let's see. So the table says that the Netherlands was first in their team group. Okay. And then they went on to the knockout stages. Let me share this screen with you guys so you guys can see what I'm saying. So they went through the knockout stage. This is the 2022 World Cup. Brazil, Brazil lost to Croatia. Oh yeah, bro, yeah. 2022 was ridiculous for Brazil. Oh my, oh my. Okay, the Netherlands won against the USA, lost against Argentina, but who can blame them? Who can blame them? You know what I'm saying? There is no possibility for, you know, for a team to win Argentina in the 2022 World Cup. They were the champions, so nobody won them. So that's fair. And as I've said before, it's not a shame if you lose only to the winner, you know. But the Netherlands did very well. Brazil lost to Croatia, but Croatia also had a very good team, but it was pitiful. It was really pitiful if you think about it. Brazil was ahead and all they had to do was defend. They did not defend. They took a late goal in the second half of the the stoppage time, I mean, it's crazy. They were ahead. They could have won, but they didn't want it hard enough. They didn't defend enough. They didn't do enough. But anyways, the Netherlands against Argentina. Argentina could have easily lost because it was on a penalty. And I remember this game, bro. The Netherlands had a lot of fight in them. I remember the Netherlands were up by, I think, 2-1 or something, and then Argentina scored a late goal, I think. But it was crazy. It was crazy how they were fighting for their chances. And and if they had gone past Argentina, then they would have a very good chance to be in the finals. Against France, bro, France, Argentina versus France, this was the best game ever. It was the best game I've watched in my entire life. This was, bro, honestly, this game was the best I've ever seen that I can remember. It goes down in history as one of the best games ever. France wanted it, and Argentina also wanted it. It was a battle of the Titans. One team scored, then the other one went and replied and scored, and then the other team scored, and they were very technical, they were very strong, but at the end, you know, Argentina came up on top, but they did not let it go until the very end. Mbappe was spectacular in that last final game. But anyways, the Netherlands, man, I really support the Netherlands, because every time I see the Netherlands, I'm telling you, every Brazilian, we are scared of the Netherlands. You can put up anyone, like Croatia. We didn't care. Like, we thought, oh, Croatia, we're gonna beat them, it's gonna be easy. We lost, obviously, but when we see the Netherlands, we know there's something there that Brazil we don't want to go against the Netherlands and Belgium. You know, we have history against Netherlands and Belgium because you guys have kicked us out of the World Cup a few times. But anyways, guys, this was a fun video, very explanatory, and let me know if you guys want me to react to more of these videos. Go check out the video. The link is in the description. It's from the channel Raymar Football. I hope I don't get blocked, but man, it's too bad. You know, who knows, in the near future the Netherlands comes out on top. I don't want them to beat Brazil, but I'll tell you this: if Brazil is kicked out of the next World Cup, then I want to see the Netherlands win at least once. We'll see you there. Guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and request a video if you want to. Link is in the description of the pinned comment. Take care now. Bye-bye. Now you can get full access to exclusive content, special reactions to shows, series, anime, full movies, and even request a video of your choice. Just become a YouTube member or join Buy Me a Coffee today. Find out more. The link is in the description.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game.